Hello guys and welcome to part 14 of Let's Make an RPG. As you can see, we have our main character called Bob here and a background, like in previous tutorials. Now we're gonna make him move, so it's gonna be more like a game. So we're gonna use SDL for controls. If you go to your main game loop, which is in our main CPP file, and if you go under where we draw Bob or grass, then you can do an if statement. We will need to get the main event from our SDL setup class. So let's copy that. And we'll choose type. So let's just type in type. Actually make it switch statement. Then we're gonna do case. SDL underscore key down. We're gonna break it. And then default break. You should put it's safe to put default break on all case statements, and for safety I always put them, even though in some cases you don't have to, like in this case technically you don't have to, but it's better to do it. It's good for error handling as well. Here we're gonna have another switch statement. Basically we'll have two switch statements. One switch statement will check the type, so key down. We can check for key up later. So if the key is being holded, and then now we'll have switch statement checks which key. So CSDL underscore setup get main event key dot keysim dot sim, and we're gonna have default break here as well, and here see case, and here we're checking which key. So you're gonna do SDLK underscore, and in here you have any key you pressed. So key 0 to 9, forward home, asterisk, B, C. So for example, if I press key left, just come type in left. As you can see, there's left. So that's the left key on the keyboard. If we press A, we're gonna make our cursor walk with A, S, D, and W key. So if you press A key on your keyboard, it will read. The code inside here will be red. So let's test this by using cout. A key was pressed. Okay, let's see if that works. So now I'm gonna press A, and as you can see, now if I hold A, it will spam this. If I press anything else, nothing happens. So let's do the same thing for key S. Key S, D, and W. So let's change this to S. Let's make them capital even though you're not pressing capital letters. It's easier to read. S, W. Oops. And A, S, W, and D. So now you have S, D, W, A. So whichever I press, as you can see, but when you hold, there's like slight delay. First it shows A and then there's like a second delay before it starts spamming. I think that could cause problems for us in the future, but since the character will move forward and then will stop and then move forward again. But we can fix that later by using some booleans. Okay, so this is our check for keys. Now we need to make the character move. So we'll need to change the position of the character here. But we don't have functions for changing position in our sprite. So we need to make some. It's quite simple. All we'll do is a function named setX, and you will pass integer called x. We're gonna make another one, void set y, integer y. Also, we could do set position and x and y. So change position for both of them. So if you want to change position for both of them, you just call one function instead of two. Okay, so we have the functions. Now we need to write code for them. So let's go to our sprite cpp. Void c sprite set x. Oh yeah, and x. Void c sprite set y and y. And final function set position. C sprite set position and x and y. Okay, so now we need to set the position. Well, as you can see, the position is inside the rect. So we'll simply do rect.x equals x. So we're setting x position of rectangle, the sprite rectangle, to the past in x. Same here, rect.y equals y. Oops. And finally, we're gonna do both of them. rect.x equals x, rect.y equals y. Hopefully that'll work. So if we close those, let's go back here. And we're gonna change position of the bulb. And we have our set. Let's set x position. And we can't set position yet because we need to, this will just set position, but we need to get the position to offset it. So actually we need to create getters as well. So get x and get y. We're not gonna do get position on the other hand, because then we will need a vector, and that's fine. I think that'll be fine. Just two getters for get x and get y. So let's go to sprite cpp and just two more functions. Oops, void c sprite get x. Actually, it's not void. We're gonna return integer, and basically simply you just return return rect.x. That's all you do. And they are integers. Yep, they are. And c sprite get y. Okay, so now we can offset it by getting x position. So if you go here, we're gonna set x and here inside we'll get X position, and then we'll subtract by amount, for example by 1. So each time whenever you hold an A key, it will subtract 1 from X position of Bob. Hopefully that's easier to read. And here though, you want to move down. So we're actually going to add Y position. Since this is 0, no, yes, since this is, imagine this is a window, and this is 0, 0 position. And this is, for example, 600, and this is like 400, like resolution of your window. So if this is why, if you want to move down, you're actually adding, and if you want to move up, you're subtracting from Y. If you want to move left, you subtract from X, and if you want to move right, you add to X. So we move this way. So this is why we're adding. It's kind of like opposite than in maths. So if you want to move up, you subtract, and move left, right. We're gonna change X position, and we're gonna add. So let's play this. Now if I press A, as you can see, character moves, but we have that slight delay. First it moves and then it kind of stops. And let's increase this to 3, because it's a little bit slow. Later we can make this variable and change the speed of the character based, for example, on the weight of your gear or something. But like, as you can see, you can't do multiple key presses. So if I want to go diagonally down, I can. It's really hard to get it though correctly. It's not very comfortable to move, basically. You can't, you go up and then you press another key on any of the keyboard and it stops. It's really not comfortable.